Hey guys, it's Dwight. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a great day. So today what we're going to do is we're going to work on this 30 by 40 canvas. It's over my shoulder here. It's a repurposed canvas. I painted over it black just to kind of give it a nice clean surface. So today I'm going to be working on a monochromatic pour. I'm going to be using black and white only. Now I know using that will also create some gray, which is fine. That'll look great actually, sort of giving some dimension to this. So it's a large painting. I'm going to do a dump and swirl. I'm not going to use my colander or my strainer. Just going to pour the paints on top of each other, 1 cup at a time. And then we'll do the dump paint. We'll see how that goes. I'm hoping it goes really well. If it goes well, I'm planning on putting it in a show, hopefully. It's a monochromatic show, so we'll see. If not, I may do some photography. That's a whole other story. Okay, thanks for stopping by. I will show you my paints in a few minutes, and if I remember, I'll show you the consistencies, and we'll get started. But before we get started, one more thing. I get asked this question every single time. I usually mention it in my videos, but I don't know if people are listening or watching the whole video. But my paints are mixed all the same. It's basically 1 part paint. It could be anywhere from 2 to 7 parts Floetrol or somewhere in between. Depends on the size of the cup. The larger cup that I use, more Floetrol. The smaller the cup, like the 4 ounce, I don't need a whole lot of Floetrol because I've already got like an ounce or 2 of paint. So anyway, it's back to 1 part paint. I said 2 to 7 parts Floetrol, a drizzle of Liquitex pouring medium, and then water to thin it. For this type of pour, the paints need to be thin. So I will show you that once I get them all mixed up. Okay, guys, thanks for hanging out. Let's get started. Okay, friends, here we are back at the canvas, and my paints are all mixed. There's my dump paint, and this is a 30 by 40 canvas. Now, I mentioned earlier I'm going to do a sort of dump and swirl. I'm not going to use my colander or my strainer, but I'm going to pour puddles on top of each other. I'm not quite sure exactly how I'm going to do this, but the first few layers are going to be full cups. And then I might just do half cups each and alternate as we move on. So we'll see. So my goal is to limit how much gray I have, only because I want some definition with the black against the white. However, the gray also offers some dimension, so we'll see how that works. So yeah, these are all just Artist Loft soft body paints. Now I did in the black, I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of a shimmer. Looks like it thickened up a little bit. I added a little bit of rich espresso from Dazzling Metallics to all the blacks, just to kind of give it a little bit of a shimmer. Okay, friends, I'm gonna double check these consistencies again. Let me just double check here so you can get a look. I mentioned, I think, you know, the goal is for the paint to go right in. It's not to mound. I mean, it can mound a little bit, but I try to keep it just so it goes, trickles right in. Okay, so let me check the consistencies, guys, and we're gonna get started here in just a minute.
Okay, guys, here we are back at the canvas. Everything's ready to go. So we're gonna use 1 cup at a time, starting with white. And I'm just going to slowly pour the black and then the white and alternating until I'm done with the 7 cups. Now, this video has not been sped up. It is at the original speed. I was just taking my time, pouring each cup. Now, as the puddle gets deeper and deeper, what you'll start to notice is when I start to add the black or the white, it tends to sink into the puddle. Now, what that's going to end up doing, again, since my paints are thin, is going to create some gray. Now, the gray is okay because what it can do is it can provide some depth to the composition. Again, I'm just slowly pouring in the paints. So I have 1 more cup of black. Again, did you notice how it sank in the white paint? And watch the white, my last cup, watch how it sinks into the black. So most likely we are going to have some gray, which is okay. I paused for just a moment there just to make sure I can get some of that white on the surface. So here's the black dump paint. We're going to pour almost in the middle, slightly off center. If you notice again that it sank, that typically is going to tell me that I'm going to have a small negative space. So I paused for a moment to allow the paint to rest before I poured the rest of the black. Now on that upper corner there, I just poured some extra black paint that I had, because typically I am stretching the heck out of these canvases and I need just a little extra help on that last corner. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to swirl this around nice and slow. I want to get the black the best I can to cover most of the puddle paints without going over the edge until I'm ready. So here we go over the first edge, bam. Bring it back a little bit, take it over the next edge, bring it back. Again, I've got that edge, and then here we go. Just as a reminder, each cup that I use when I mix my paints is about 1 or 2 ounces of paint. The rest is Floetrol and water. So what you're seeing come off of the canvas there is mostly Floetrol and water. So I'm not wasting paint. It's just a couple of ounces of paint per cup. Okay, so here we are. So at first I wasn't 100% sure that all that white and gray and black were going to come through, because the speckles on the canvas there look pretty small. So I bang it up and down, as you see. That's just to pop any of the bubbles that are in the mix there and allow the colors underneath to come through. So in just a moment, we're going to go to the time lapse, and then you'll see how everything just fills in. I wasn't really sure, because usually when I do the time lapse, I leave the room for an hour and a half or so and then come back to what you see at the end of this video. 1, 2, 3, there we go. It fills in. How great is that? Okay, guys, let's do the wet walkthrough and we shall go from there. Okie dokie, guys. I am actually quite relieved that I got a cool composition. I wasn't sure, as I left the room, I was thinking everything is going to be gray. So I wanted more black, but that's okay. I've got enough composition here. It's really cool, if I do say so myself. So let me just move in and show you the star attraction, and that is just all through here. Negative space is perfect. Just maybe clean it up a little bit. Clean up the edge. It's so interesting because you can faintly see the rich espresso I added, but it's subtle. So what's going to be cool, at least I'm thinking it's going to be cool, is when it dries and I varnish, there's going to be some sparkle. Well, it's really dried up on the edge here, you can see. So yeah, I'm happy. I wanted something that was graphic, and I think this is pretty graphic. Let me walk around this way. I don't know, that looks pretty good too. It's hard for me to figure out which side I want to hang it by. But I don't have to worry about that right now. So yeah, so this is it, guys. I'm gonna let it dry, and I will then come back in and I will show you the dried results, and hopefully I don't have to do too many touch-ups. I think we're pretty good. Okay, hold on, guys. Next segment, we will do the dry walkthrough and then any touch-ups. Okay, friends, here we are. It's the morning after, and we're all dry. So it dried exactly as it looked, wet, except not as shiny. So I'm really happy. I just want to make a point about our pours and when we do videos and such. I think it's really important to show the dried results because they look really pretty when they're wet, but as we know, things can move around and things can change. So I just like to make sure that I show people the dried results so you can see how things go. So I'll show up close again. I know I did previously a little bit. The white is the show stopper in this, and so is the negative space. I'm gonna do a little cleanup of the negative space, especially along the edges, and that's about it. Everything else is good.
have some small pearls down here. I'm not quite sure what that's about, but that's okay. So what I'm gonna do is, I like to sort of show you my process. So I will set up my camera and we will show you, on a time lapse of me just sort of touching things up. It shouldn't take me long, but I'll go ahead and put it on there anyway. Okay guys, hold on, then we'll do the final walkthrough.
Okay, here we are back at the canvas. The painting is dry, and I just wanted to show you how I sort of clean up the negative space just to make sure that I have that waterfall edge, as I call it, and any pearls that are along the edge. I'm trying to save some of them, although I took a few out. And this is just detail work primarily. I didn't have to take any pearls out that were actually in the black negative space. I did, however, dot a few that were there, but other than that, this was sort of simple. It just took me about 15 minutes or so. Again, using my paintbrushes that have very fine tips, and I'm just using the black paint, Artist Loft Soft Body Black, right out of the bottle. I'm not mixing it with anything for this touch-up work. Yeah, so I'm just working and working, again, doing the detailed work. I like that the ring of gray that's around the negative space, excuse me, I like that it also outlines the negative space, but also it's inside that white, so it does draw your eye in there. So you don't need a big negative space in this pour. I think that space works really, really well. Okay, I'm just going to finish up here and then I will show you the final dried results.
Okay guys, here we are. I am all done and it's looking good. I just cleaned up the edge a little bit, as you can see. Nothing much, that's about it. Just did a few dots here and there to get out, to make it look nice and smooth. So I'm very happy with this. I like the way it looks. I don't have a title for it yet, so if you have any ideas, feel free to let me know in the box below. And also, you can ask me a question. I'll do my best to answer it. You can either do it in the notes below or you can email me at dwightpours@yahoo.com. Okay guys, take care, hang on. We're gonna start another video pretty soon and I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do yet. We'll see. Okay, thanks for stopping by.